welcome to Marina's Kitchen. Today I'm going to cook some gnocchis for you. So I'm going to show you how to make just the plain gnocchis. I was in New York in 2012 and we were eating them in this restaurant. It's called Locanda, and they were really lovely gnocchis, and I asked them how they made them, and he said, we've got a cookbook here, would you like to have it? So I bought the cookbook from that restaurant. They were selling them, and this is his plain recipe of his plain gnocchi. So it's just made into just a plain with a tomato sauce base. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and started doing my tomato sauce. I've put in a can of 400 gram of diced tomatoes. I put some garlic in there, basil, salt, pepper, and seasoned it up. I go ahead and do that, so then I can just do the gnocchi and have that ready. So what I've done here is now I do these in the microwave. You can do them in the oven or you can boil them. I've washed the potatoes. The normal routine is about 1 medium potato per person. You can serve about 4 people with this recipe. So what I've done is I prick these potatoes, and I prick them all over and put them in the microwave, and it's about 10 minutes. Then I turn them over and give them about another 8 to 10 minutes, and they are lovely, just perfect for you to just let them cool down a little bit, cut them open, peel them, and then mash them down into a bowl, and that's how I do it. So once they are all mashed in, now this is the recipe that I've got. Now I've got a tablespoon of butter that goes in it. While it's still warm, you have to sort of work this while the potatoes are still warm before they go any the harder the potato, the colder the potato gets, the more glucky the gnocchi comes. So what we do is we've got a tablespoon of oil in there also, and I've got 2 tablespoons of grated cheese in there, and now I'm going to have a teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to use semolina and plain flour. You can use, we also have an egg I've got to put in there, but if you haven't got semolina inside, don't worry, you can use your plain flour just as good, but the semolina just makes them more lighter. Now I'm going to add one beaten egg in there. I'm going to first put my semolina in, and then after I add my plain flour. So I'm just going to put my semolina in first. I'm just going to turn this down. This is half a cup of semolina here. I'm going to put that in first. And then I add my plain flour, enough to make it the dough that I wanted, not a sticky dough, not a firm dough, just nice that I can roll it out. I have here some flour on a tablecloth, and I'm going to now add my plain flour, enough to bind this all together. There's half a cup there, but I might need the whole lot. It all depends on your potatoes, because some potatoes take more flour than other potatoes. That's why I do the potatoes in the microwave, because they don't absorb a lot of water, and if they don't absorb a lot of water, you don't have to add a lot of flour. So I get in there with your hands, and you can tell how that is firm enough. I'm just going to add another little bit of flour to it, and I think that I've got a right consistency to make these gnocchis. That is really beautiful dough. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you, I've bought this gnocchi board. You can buy them in the kitchen shops. You don't have to have a gnocchi board if you don't want to. I can have them with the fork. You can do them with the fork, I'll show you. Or unless you can just do them cut them in pieces. What I do now is I roll this up at a bit at a time. I'll put a bit of flour on your working surface and just roll it up and make a nice long snake. Now, you can do these just plain, just cut up in little pieces if you want to, or unless do them with the fork or this board that I'll show you. So what I'll do now is I just cut them up in little pieces. Now, you can cook them the way they are like that. That's okay, fine. Now, the board is very simple. It's lovely because it gives it the indent of the hole in the middle of it. The sauce, when you do put the sauce in it, the sauce goes into the gnocchi. So all it is just with your thumb, just slide it down, and there you've got your gnocchi with the indent of a hole in the middle. Very simple. Just slide it down like that, and then you can add a bit of flour to it if it sticks. Now, if you haven't got a board, that's fine. Now do it with your fork. I'll show you how to do it with the fork. Just cut it up in little pieces like that. You've got your fork, the back of your fork, just do the same thing. Just press your thumb in and just slide it down the fork. Very simple. That's how you do it. So you either can boil them the way they are like that, but I love this indent inside, that the sauce gets inside, and it just makes it much more nicer anyway. So that's what you can do. Just keep on doing the whole lot like that. It doesn't take long. You can put your sauce on, come home from work, mix up a little bit of flour and egg. It really doesn't take long to make some nice fresh gnocchi. They are much better than the frozen ones. You can freeze these, dry them out, freeze them. They'll keep up to about a month in the deep freeze. So look, just keep on doing that with the whole lot. Very simple, very quickly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to boil these few just to show you. I've got a pot of salted water here, boiling water, lovely boiling water. What I do is when they come up, I sort of just leave them about a minute before I pick them up. I pick them up with a slotted spoon, and then I throw them in that sauce straight away. I don't throw them in a strainer, just put them in the sauce like that. So what we'll do is we'll throw these few in the water, and I'll show you how when they come up, I like to leave them for about a minute when they come up, and then just scoop them out. But what you do is you could put the whole lot in a big saucepan, do the whole lot, or don't do a few at a time, you can do the whole lot. What I'm going to do is now, I'm just going to put these few in just to show you. So now they boil in there, they'll come up, and I'm going to serve them with some nice sauce and some nice Parmesan cheese. You see, we didn't even use all the plain flour. I had half a cup of semolina, and I had half a cup of plain flour. What I do is first I use the semolina, and then I add the plain flour to what consistency. See, it's just enough, it's not sticky, it's just a nice soft, but it's got to be a soft dough, because the more flour you put into it, the harder the gnocchi come. So they are just coming up now. So what I'm going to do is just scoop them up as soon as they come up to the boil, up to the top. They're all coming up now to the top, and I'll just put them in straight into the sauce and then serve them in your plate. I'll just give them another minute. They're all come up to the surface. I'll just give them another minute and just keep on scooping them up as they keep on coming up, and put them straight into your sauce. There they go. So I'm just going to put them in there. I'm only doing these few just to show you, but you can have like your bigger saucepan and put the whole lot in at once, and then you can just swish them around in that lovely sauce, which is so beautiful. I've got that lovely garlic and basil in there, and just scoop them up and just sprinkle some beautiful Parmesan cheese on that. And you've got enough there for about, as I said, 4 people. Just spread some nice cheese on top of that, and there you go. It's so simple, so quick to make your nice fresh gnocchi. So I hope that you'll give them a go. Look, if you can't do them with the fork, just cut them up in pieces. You can still boil them like that if you want to. But they are nice, give it a go. If it doesn't work straight away, just keep on trying. All you do is just roll it like that. Very simple, very easy. and keep on doing them. So anyhow, I hope that you'll try them and enjoy them. Okay.